Hey, sixth graders, today we're going to be doing the chapter 11 and 12 review. Let's take a quick look at two formulas for a circle you have to know. First of all, area. Area is equal to pi r, just like the pirates say. Pi r, 3.14 times r times r. The next one you have to know is Napoleon Dynamite's helping us with the circumference. Napoleon, it's d pi is around. D times 3.14. D pi is around. D times pi is around the circle. Get it? All right, thanks for remembering. All right, let's jump right in and do these things then. The first one here, we need to find the area and circumference of each circle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some A equals, and I'm just going to go ahead and write 3.14 times, and let's see, that's going to be the 3.14 times the radius for the area, so that'll be times 11, because remember, the radius is 11, that's the short one, it's the short word. The diameter, see if I can write this, diameter is the long one, and it's the long word. So the diameter here is going to be 22. All right, let me just check my screen. We look pretty good. All right, so the area is 3.14 times 11 times 11. Let's get this baby on. 3.14 times 11 times 11 equals 379.94. 379.94. So area 379.94. And that's going to be units squared. Okay? The next one, let's get the circumference of this baby. Then the circumference is going to be equal to d pi is around, so the diameter, 22, times pi, 3.14 is the abbreviation we'll be using on the test and on this worksheet. So 22 times 3.14 is equal to, whoa, let's clear the calculator, 22 times 3.14 is equal to 69.08, and that's just units. It's not squared because it's going around. So here are our answers for the first one, circled in red. And let's move on to this next one. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and write area is equal to 3.14 times, okay, now I have a diameter. So if the diameter is 10, the radius is going to be 5. So times radius times 5 times 5. So let's just put this in. 3.14 times 5 is equal to 78.5. So 78.5. Now that is going to be units squared again because we're talking about the area of a circle. Here's the area. So now circumference is d pi is around circumference. So now we'll use the diameter, 10 times 3.14. We can just move the decimal here. Our answer is going to be 31.4 units. That's going around. Let's just circle those guys in reds. So you've got those answers there. Let's move on to this next one. Make sure my calculator's doing okay here. All right. I think I'm going to have to put my calculator down here and move it up just a touch so you can see what's going on. Okay, this next one, we go ahead and write area is equal to, it's going to be 3.14 times the radius times the radius. Now here we got a diameter again, so we got to make a radius. Radius will be half the diameter, so that's 3.5. So times 3.5 times 3.5. So let's get that in there. 3.14, ooh, hey-oh, 3.14 times 3.5 times 3.5 is equal to 38.465. So that'll be 38.465, and that's area, so that's going to be units squared again. Let's circle that, guys, so you can see it a little more clearly. Now we have to do the circumference of that same circle too. D pi is around. Remember, d pi is around, so we've got the diameter, 7 times 3.14. And that is going to be equal to 7 times 3.14, like 21 something, 21.98, 21.98, and that'll be units because it's not squared, it's just going around the circle. Okay, let's do this last one. Get ourselves set up here for success. Area is equal to 3.14 times. Now, area is radius times radius, so it's going to be 14.5 times 14.5. So clear this baby out. 3.14 times 14.5 times 14.5. And that's equal to 660.185. Let me see, 660.185, and that's units squared. Circle that for you. We still have to do the circumference on that circle, so let's just check that out. So that would be d pi is around, so the diameter of this one, if this is 14.5, the diameter will be 29. Let's just double that. So the circumference is equal to 14.5, circumference is equal to 29 times 3.14. Almost slipped up there, got to be careful. 29 times 3.14, and that is equal to 91.06. 91.06. That'll just be units. I'll circle that there. If you did them on the side and you want to check your answers out, I also wrote them down there as well. Okay? Put that back in case I need a little more writing space. Let's go ahead and move everything up here. Take a look at this bottom portion. Okay, am I looking good? You bet. All right, so the questions are on the next page. Here are all the figures, but we have to find the area of these shapes. So let's just get going with it. Well, this guy here, you know, if I find the bottom of this cone, this area here would be 10 times 6. So this area here would be 60 centimeters squared, but the triangle is only half of that, so you have to divide it by 2, which gives you 30 centimeters. Okay, don't forget to divide by 2. We're going to have the same problem up here. So we have to find the area of this circle. Well, if this area from here to here, this is the diameter is 6, so this radius will be 3. So I'll figure out the area here. It'll be 3.14 times the radius times 3 times 3. That's going to equal 3.14 times 9, because that's what 3 times 3 is. We got 28.26. 28.26. But remember, that would be for a full circle. A full circle with a radius of 3. Okay, we only have a half of a circle, so we have to divide that by 2. Then we get 14.13. So I'll write that up here, 14.13, and circle it. So our answer is going to be 14.13 plus 30. So it looks like that is going to be, I'll just add it in here, add 30. We're going to get 44.13. So it would be 44.13 centimeters squared, because we're talking about area. Okay? Remember, I see a triangle and I see half of a circle. Remember how I kept saying that to you? Same thing there. Just like when I look at this guy right here, what I see 2 rectangles. It's supposed to be a swimming pool. It must be a swimming pool for ants because these are in centimeters, so it's very small. But I see, 2 rectangles here. This rectangle right here is 6 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So this is very simple. 6 times 2, this is going to be 12 centimeters squared. This one here is going to be a little bit different. If this measurement is 10 and this is 6, this measurement up here has to be 4. Let me show you how that works. Here's a 6 centimeter line and here's a 4 centimeter line. These two lines together will be equal to this red line down here, 10. So 6 plus something is going to equal 10. 6 plus 4. So we know that this is 4 and this is 9. So if we just multiply 9 times 4 together, we'll get the area of that rectangle, which is 36 centimeters squared. And you put those guys both together, and so the area is going to be 48 centimeters squared. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this guy over here. This arrow. Just count them off. I think if I do it in the dark blue, it'll be easier for you to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on there. Looks pretty good. This would be 9. These two guys would be 10. It looks like that's 10 units. So I have to read the backside to see what it is, but I'm just going to go 10 units. And that's going to be squared for right now. And then Lake wanna catch one. Did you catch that? Lake wanna catch one? All right, let me just number these guys out. I think I can do this in black. I got 1, 2, 3. This guy's almost whole, so we'll call it 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11. This is almost 12. 13. 13 holes. Let's call this up here. Let's just call this whole thing here 14. Let's call these guys 15. Let's call these guys here 16. Call these guys 17. Call these guys 18. Call these guys 19. I still got these guys here left over. I've been pretty generous. I call it 20. I'm thinking on this guy right here, it's about 19 or 20 units, depending upon how you piece those together. But again, this is just an estimate. So 19 or 20, that's perfect. That's the kind of answer I'm looking for in a multiple choice test. All right. So let me just scroll down here so you can see the answers for all of those. I've already penciled them all in. Look good? All right. Let's see, then we have to do some volume of prisms here. All right, I'm going to scroll up here a little bit so I have a little more room to work. Get my calculator in. Put that over here. Let's see. So this guy here, triangular prism. Now here's the way I do these. I just multiply all the numbers together and divide them by 2. If you want to find this base here, you can, and then multiply it by the highest base times height. But I'm going to do it the other way today because I think it's more efficient. So I'm going to put this guy over here. So what I have is 12 times 6 times 8. I'm going to divide all that by 2. And I like to write it out like that so I don't forget to do that. Just check and see how that looks good. All right, so 12 times 6 times 8 is equal to 576. And of course I have to divide that by 2. 288 equals 288. And again, that's volume, so that's really, you got 3 measurements here. That's going to be meters cubed. Okay, 288 meters cubed. Let's do this next guy. Let's see, it's going to be 4.2 times 2 times 3.5. That's all going to be divided by 2 because it's a pyramid of triangular prism. Sorry, I said pyramid. I think I said that before too. Triangular prisms. Regular rectangular prism, triangular prism. All right, so let's pop that into the calculator. 4.2 times 2 times 3.5, and that is all equal to 29.4. I got to divide that by 2 because it's not a rectangular prism. I got 14.7 feet cubed. Looks good. 14.7 feet cubed. All right, let me just check my first couple of answers here, make sure I'm doing okay. Got those so I can peel those back. Put them in down there in the bottom too. Okay. Go ahead and slide this guy up a little bit more. Now, this next one is a rectangular prism, so you don't have to cut it in half. So we'll just multiply these together. 4 times 3 times 5. I'll do this by hand. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 15 is 60 yards cubed on that guy. 60 yards cubed would be the volume. This guy here, 4.1 times 2.6 times 5.1. All of that's going to be divided by 2. So I'll pop that into the calculator. 4.1 times 2.6 times 5.1. That's equal to 54.366. I'm going to run that one more time. 4.1 times 2.6 times 5.1. Okay, I'm going to divide that by 2. 27.183 is my answer. 27.183 meters cubed. So those are the last two answers are right there for you. Okay, we have to do some surface area. The first one asks for surface area of number 5 above. And so I've already drawn my 6 lines. Those are the magic words for surface area, 6 lines. So I'm going to do this side first. So this is 4 times 3. So I've got 12 and 12. Let's do this side next. Okay, this is 3 and this is 5. So across this side off, I've got 15 and 15. And let's see, then I've got this top side. So if this is 5, this has got to be 5. Going up here. And we've got, I did the wrong one here before. I did 3 times 5. I did this top side. I'm sorry, this is the 3 times 5 side right here. And this last one is 4 over here by 5. So I'll have to do this side now. 4 times 5, which is 20. And 20. Sorry, I kind of hacked that guy up just a little bit. All right, so those are my measurements. This is 12. This is 30. This is 40. We add those all together. We got 70. Looks like we've got a total of 94. 94 yards squared. 40, 30, and this is 24. Sorry. Equals 94, and it's yards squared because now we're talking about surface area. Remember, surface area is like peeling those little stickers off the Rubik's Cube. They'd be exactly 9 on each side, or 54 of them. They're square. They're not solid. It's not a measure of volume. It's like little pieces of wrapping paper, square units that it take to cover something. That's what surface area is. All right, the next one is the surface area of number 8. Right here, I've already drawn the lines right over here. Let's see if I can do this one right. So I've got to do this side first. So that would be 9.6 high, 9.6 times, not sure if you can see it or not, 4.8, and that's equal to 46.08. So 46.08, ooh, that's a weird number, 46.08. Won't be adding that one in my head. Okay, this next, let's just do the top then. So this is 4.8, and this is going to be 15. So I have 4.8 times 15 on this one. So 4.8 times 15, and that's a whole number. Nice, 72, and of course 72 on the bottom side as well. That's why we're doing those double measurements. You find one side, and there's always a second side that mirrors that same surface area because it's a rectangular prism. Okay, this last one then. So this is 9.6. That means this is 9.6, which means this is 9.6. So I've got this side 15 times 9.6. This will be my big side. So 15 times 9.6, I think it's 144. So I got 144 and 144. So I got to add all these up. I'm going to do this quick. This is 144, I know. So I'm going to take 144 times 3. 1, 2, 3. I've got 432, and then I have to add these guys in. 46.08 plus 46.08, and that equals the wrong answer. 144 times 3 is equal to 432 plus 46.08 plus 46.08. And if I add that all up right, I should have 524.16 inches squared. Surface area, 524.16, and that's inches squared. All right, finally, we have to do this guy here. I'm just going to slide my paper over a tad to see that one there. I've got my 6 lines already drawn, so let's do the easy one first. This is the bottom piece, 1.5 times 1.2. Sorry about that. 1.5 times 1.2. It's 1.8. So 1.8 and 1.8. Okay, let's do the this tall side here. So that's going to be 1.5 on this side and 4.5 going up this other side on the front. So clear this out. 1.5 times 4.5. 4.5. It's equal to 6.75. 6.75 and 6.75 for the back side. Now we've got this other side here, so this is going to be 1.2 by 4.5. 1.2 times 4.5. That should be a little bit smaller. That's 5.4 and 5.4. So if I add all those up, this will be 10.8. I'm sure you can see that. These will be 3.6. I think that's 13.5. 6.75 times 2. That's 13.5. So I'll just add those up. So I already have 13 in there. Well, I guess I don't. 13.5. I'm going to add the 3.6, 3.6, and then I'll add the 10.8, 10.8. I've got 27.9, 27.9, and that's me centimeters squared because it's surface area. Okay? All right. The extra credit problem. I think I got everything on there. Let me just double check. Did I get everything? I think I did. All right, so here's this extra credit problem. We're looking at this triangle right here, and they said this triangular prism here, and we're like, can you find the surface area of that? Well, some of it's easy and some of it's hard. So I've kind of drawn it out here as best I can, and just show you how I work it out. So one more time. We're finding the surface area of this prism here. So we know that this measurement here is 6, and this measure is 8, and this measure here is 12. Okay, so put that away. We won't need that anymore. So these two triangles here are 6 times 8. So basically in surface area, what we want to do is we want to find the area of all the surfaces. We'll do the easy stuff first. So these two areas here are 6 times 8. So this is going to be 48 if it was a rectangle, but it's a triangle, so this will be 24 here. So that's 48. We're dividing it by 2. And I believe these are all in meters. Yeah, so this is 24 meters squared. And of course, this guy over here is going to be 24 meters squared as well. Okay? Now, if this side here is 6 meters, this side is 6 too. So the area of this one here is going to be 12 times 6. So this is 72 meters squared for that side. So if this measurement here is 8, that means this measurement is 8. If this measurement here is 12, that means this bottom measurement is 12. So these two, 12 times 8 is equal to 96. 96 meters squared. So we could add all these numbers up, these 4 numbers so far, and we'd have almost all the surface area. But there's still one large piece of surface area left, and that's the piece. It's not going to quite fit, but it'll be close. That's this piece that would go right on the front here. And we don't have this measurement right here. This is the measurement that we're missing, that top one. So therefore, we have to use this Pythagorean theorem. And that says that this side of a triangle, a right triangle, plus this side of a right triangle will equal that long side. They call it the hypotenuse. So let's just put it in. So we've got 6 squared plus 8 squared is going to equal this side squared, the unknown side squared. So this is 36 plus this is 64 equals c squared. We'll simplify it. These two guys are 100 equals c squared. Now, what that means is it means 100 is equal to c times c. Well, we know what c is. C's got to be 10. So c equals 10. So basically what that says is that this side up here, this measure is 10. So if this measure here is 10, let me do that in blue. If this measure here is 10, that means this measure is also 10. And we already know that it is 12 meters that direction. So if you just multiply these two guys together, you have 120. 120 meters squared. So now we've got 5 numbers for the 5 surfaces, and we have to add them all up. So I'm going to put in the 24s first. 24 plus 24, that's 48. Just going to cross these guys off so I don't forget. I got my ends in. Now I'll do the back. That's going to add in 72. Okay, let's cross this dude off. Got 72 added on there. Now we're at 120. All right, so now I'm going to add in that bottom part plus the 96, and that's going to equal 216. And then I'll add in the 120, and that's going to equal 336. 336 meters squared would be the surface area, but let's just double check that because that was fast. The two ends would be 48 plus 72 plus 96 plus 120 is equal to 336 meters squared. All right, thanks for listening. Hope you're having a good day. Good luck on the test. Have a good one. Bye.